Hey everybody, this is Elizabeth Hawkins, and it's the final project log for my healing project of ICSR 525. And I have pictured, as you see with my webcam because my camera died, my project, my final project, which was a booklet, a little booklet. It's 17 pages long of poetry and artwork that I have done throughout the semester. And of course, for the cover of my book, I decided to use the Tree of Life from my self-portrait, because honestly I think that has been the biggest constant symbol throughout this whole semester for me. Tree of Life, the connection, and I think that's what it's been all about since I started this project. Connections, the connection we've lost or we need to find to nature, and that's pretty much what I've discovered working on this project, is that everything is connected within the natural world. Think of life as this big giant spider web, and each human, animal, insect, and plant is one single string of that web. It's a pretty big web. And this again, this goes back to the Druids. That is the main thing that Druidism has taught me and continues to teach, everybody. But I think it's obviously it goes beyond that, because nature connects to, everything, every culture, every race, every species. Just by meditating daily, I have learned and observed a great deal of symbols within the natural world surrounding my house. Observations of balance and cleansing, and especially of healing. Nature has signs of healing and beauty that are not only used by our society but other societies across the world, from China to Ireland to India and so many more places. And it's just amazing how many of those symbols you can find right outside your house. And I highly encourage everybody to look for those different sort of symbols. I've also found that this collection of poetry and art that I've done is my connection to nature, and my demonstration of how I have learned the power of healing from her. By flexing my creative brain power, I have been able to relieve stress, expel my negative energies, and learned more about how the natural world gives us, all of these lessons of, how to grow and to heal through these, like I was talking about, these signs, these symbols, her creations. And oftentimes, obviously we forget that we are all connected, and we seek to dig ourselves deeper into this illusion of superiority, which only makes the negative energy stronger, I think. So I'm going to be sharing with you some new things and some old things that I've revised from part 1. The first thing I'd like to mention is that I filled up some of my poetry with backgrounds of photographs that I've taken over the years. Like for my Open Up poem, I used the picture of my lunar hibiscus that I had last year that died this year, but just because, obviously photography is part of art, but I don't claim to be a photographer. Anyway, the first thing that I edited, and I photoshopped a lot of my drawings just to make them look cleaner at least, and to make the colors kind of stand out. But I also edited some of my poems, and this particular limerick was really super neat because it really freaking sucked. It really sucked. So this limerick is entitled the Tova Limerick, and it's dedicated to Tova Bradley. There once was a lady so frail, her only companion was a snail. She started with one, then it turned into a ton, and she cried, "I thought you were male." So, just, I just thought it was a really funny way to, that, I had written that after we read Tova Bradley, after we were done with that one, and I celebrated my enjoyment of that book by writing a limerick, which turned out to suck, but later on it got better. This next one is a brand new limerick that I actually started out part 3 with, at least in my project log. It was the first one. It's called All That Girl. There once was a girl who was fat. All the boys teased her with bats. So she went to the gym, got curvy and slim, and told those boys, "Now I'm all that." And again, it was just something to make the reader like smirk and smile and laugh, because, you know, as I personally am a person that just loves to laugh, and I do believe that laughter is the best medicine. And, you know, obviously the modern world can be so depressing at times. I mean, we saw that when we read Sully and shoot, what was the other one? But I mean, yeah, you guys remember that. I mean, how depressing was that? And, you know, that's, you know, feeds our negative energies, and if we continuously let them beat us down like that, then, I mean, that's negative, and, you know, darkness is all we're going to see and expect from the world, despite, you know, that there are both positives and negatives out there. And speaking of positives, this next piece is called The Bluebird of Happiness, and it started out as a simple drawing, and then I kind of went into Photoshop and started fiddling with it. And obviously we know what the bluebird is. You guys know the bluebird of happiness symbol. I mean, but she also illustrates another important lesson from nature, to appreciate the joy, love, and happiness within yourself as well as the world around you. And the first step to healing is feeling it inside. Alright, well, the bluebird teaches us, you know, to appreciate the joy, love, and happiness within ourselves as well as within the world around us. The first step to healing really is you have to feel it inside, obviously. Because if you don't feel it inside, you can't project it onto others. After all, self-healing is just as important as helping to heal the world around us. And, of course, spreading the happiness and healing doesn't work if, you know, like I said, if your heart's not in it. Another new piece I did was titled Simultaneous Bleeding, and it's I drew it in response to what I was thinking about, basically the relationship between humans and nature, which I personally think is kind of like a give and take. Nature gives and gives, and we take. And during this time, it just seems like both sides are suffering in much the same ways. So it's kind of like we're both bleeding in a way. And I probably shouldn't have drawn this after I had, you know, reread a lot of Dante's Inferno. But it makes me wonder, how do we fix this? How do we fix something like that? And how do we fix our bleeding? First, of course, I think it's necessary to open ourselves up to the real problems we are facing, which are those negative energies that are blocking our chakras. And I bring up the chakras again because the figure in the drawing, the human being is outlined with all of the chakra colors, and of course it kind of represents the blockage too, the bleeding at least. And I think once we've opened ourselves up and identify the problems, then we can start asking questions about how, why is this a problem? What is it doing? And of course, asking questions, it starts the ball rolling towards changing our perspectives. And it's kind of like the bamboo motif, is we release all of our prejudices and fears and doubts that way, and then we can start filling ourselves up with new things, new perspectives. And once our bleeding has stopped, then we can tend to nature's bleeding, because again, that goes back to the self-healing idea. I mean, nature has been around for far longer than we have, so remember, human beings are just one piece of nature's puzzle. And, because we're just one piece, I think nature's probably wondering, well, why haven't you returned my call? So she insisted that I write a poem for her. And this poem is entitled Gaia's Poem. I am the wind that blows through your hair, that plays with your tangles, curls, and cares. I am the fuel that burns the fire. Do you need my warm hugs? I am a pebble you found by the pond. Skip me once, twice, 3 times. How fun! I am the water that runs through your rivers. Ignored, beaten, polluted. I feel violated. I am your mother, though not by blood. I fed you, sheltered you, loved you so. I am personified as female, though who says I need a gender to be who I am? I am the earth that you walk on, that you trash, that you rape, that you ignore, that you dismiss, that you... I am the one you are supposed to cherish. So where is my love returned unto me? I think nature is another one of those things that we need to be the voice for the voiceless. Because nature can talk, we just need to understand her, or we just need to learn how to understand her. And to do that, we kind of need to be a little bit more observant, I think. And that's really all it takes, just one voice to start the healing process. And I've always said that in numerous occasions throughout history, it only takes one voice, one action, to start others thinking differently and changing their perspectives. Like, for example, in this next piece called Building Supportive Voices, one figure is starting to support, to lift up the natural world, and the other one only has one hand raised, like he's beginning that process of changing. And the third one obviously is just kind of looking down, like he's reading a very important OMG LOL text. So I mean, if that's all it takes, just one voice, then show and tell others about your ideas, your voice. Expose that problem. People will begin to follow those ideas and develop their own similar voice. And I mean, it's just like rabbits. 1 turns into 2, then 3, then 5, then 10, and so on. And It just starts with one. Throughout this project, I have come to understand how nature teaches and promotes growth, healing, and balance, how her signs reach across cultural, racial, and religious barriers to bring knowledge and betterment to all living things, and most importantly, how nature provides us with lessons and inspiration that helps us heal ourselves as well as others. Nature has given me the gift of inspiration for the preceding poems and drawings as a way of releasing my negative energy. And now, like bamboo, I can fill up with more positive emotions, new knowledge, new perspective, new voices, new understandings, and new connections, and definitely new inspirations for more art and poetry. And just as all of you, my fellow classmates, and my professor had the ability to spiral outward like the shell of a snail, so too can I spiral outward and learn to grow and heal from all that nature has taught me and will continue to teach me, as long as we listen to it and to ourselves. What all do you think we can accomplish?